Hey everyone, Mike Wolf here from Mike Wolf Mastery. Thank you for tuning in. Today I am in beautiful Belize and I'm actually on a cruise ship. And if you're tuning in, you probably want to find out what I think about investing in homes that are cheap. And yesterday I was on the cruise ship, and our stop yesterday was Rotan in the Bay Islands, which is off the coast of Honduras. And somebody on the ship knew that I knew a few things about real estate. For those of you who don't know, I've been investing for around 28 years. I've invested in Canada and all over the US. And he was saying, well, you know, I saw these $35,000 condos. And he goes, you know, I'm thinking I might just throw 35,000 bucks at it, see what happens. What's the worst thing that could happen? And well, what the worst thing that could happen is you might lose more than just $35,000. One of the things you have to keep in mind is that when you own something, it creates a liability or an asset, hopefully an asset. But with that liability comes some risk. And so if you own a piece of property, it's not just the money that you put into the property that's at risk. And quite often, if you're getting yourself into properties in bad neighborhoods, for example, quite often it attracts certain tenants that might want to potentially get some money from you. And bad things tend to happen when you buy cheap homes, is what I have found in the past. And so I'm not saying don't ever buy a home that's inexpensive. What I'm saying is what matters is not the price, it's what is the return on investment, how much is it going to give you. And certainly you don't just throw money into something without doing your due diligence. And the time you do your due diligence isn't when you're in port for 5 or 6 hours. You do it long before you arrive. There's a whole bunch of things that you have to keep in mind, such as, you know, what are the ownership laws, what's the currency. If you're buying in a foreign currency, what if the property goes up but the currency gets severely devalued, as often happens in Central and South American and Caribbean countries. We see the currencies getting devalued, and all of a sudden they're worth, you know, nothing in US dollars. So these are some of the things you want to worry about. You also want to look into, like I said, ownership laws. You want to look into squatters' rights. I heard of a horror story. Somebody I know bought a property in Costa Rica, and somebody, he doesn't live in it, he lives in Canada, and somebody decided to become a squatter in his property, and he can't get rid of them. So there's nothing you can do with the property anymore. It's basically useless. So never ask yourself what's the worst thing that can happen, because trust me, there are a lot of nightmares that can happen with real estate. So do your due diligence before you buy. Don't get attracted by something just because it's cheap. You know, if I said, hey, I'm staying at this hotel and it's super cheap, it's 10 bucks a night, would you just say, oh, what's the worst thing that can happen? Of course you're going to ask a few questions. Or you would never buy a car that's super cheap. Well, certainly don't buy a piece of real estate, certainly not an investment property, because it's cheap. So anyway, if you found this helpful, please like this video and share it with all your friends. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel. You get all my latest videos as I make them. And I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.